Hello students, welcome to South International School online classes. I am Poonam and today we are going to start our maths next chapter, that is chapter number 6, squares and square roots. Now what is square of a number? How do we get a square of a number? We can get a square of a number by multiplying that number by itself. So, for example, if you multiply 5 with 5, you get 5 square, that is 25. So, for example, we can take it a into a, that is a square, where a can be any natural number, that is only a positive number. Why only a natural number? Because multiplying any negative number by itself, you get a positive integer only. So in squares you will always get a natural number. So how you can understand this in this chapter about squares and square roots. So first of all we will go through squares of a number. For squares of a number, there are several properties which you need to know. So our first property is the ending digits, that is the digit in ones place, that is units place of a square number should always be 0, 4, 5, 6 or 9. Other numbers like 2, 3, 7 and 8, if these numbers are there in ones place, that is units place, the number will not be a perfect square. Any perfect square number should have only these digits in units place. Now for example, if we see 100, here the digit in units place is 0. So 100 is having a square, that is 10 square. 100 is a perfect square number. Then another number is 144. 144 is the square of 12. Here the digit in units place is 4. Now next example is 225. Here the digit in units place is 5. It is the square of 15. Next is 196. Here the digit in units place is 6 and it is the square of 14. Next number we take it as example is 289. It is the square of 17 and the number in digit units place is 9. Last example we are taking is 361. Here the ones place digit is 1 and it is the square of 19. So you see that any number, if you get a square of that number, the number in units place will always be 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9. 2, 3, 7 and 8. If these numbers are there, then the number will not be a perfect square. Now our next property. If a number has 1 or 9 in units place, then the square ends always in 1. Why is it so? Because if you multiply 1 with 1, you get the answer is 1, and if you multiply 9 by 9, the answer is 81. In 81 also the number in units place is 1. So if any number that has 1 or 9 in units place, then its square will always end in 1 in the units place. So examples, if you take 1 square equal to 1, 9 square equal to 81, 11 square equal to 121, 19 square equal to 361, 21 square equal to 441. In each of these numbers, the number having a perfect square will end in number 1 with 1 in units place. Now our next property, that is number 3. When a square number ends in 6, then the number whose square it is will have 4 or 6 in its unit place. Why? same as we saw in property number 2. 4 4s are 16 and 6 6 are 36. So the ending number, that is digits in unit place, will be 6. You can take any number with 4 or 6 in its unit place. The square of that number will always have 6 in its unit place. The examples you can see over here: 4 square equal to 16, 6 square 36, 14 square equal to 196, 16 square equal to 256. Now our next property, that is number 4. A square number can have even numbers of 0 at the end only. That is, only even number of zeros. Which are the even numbers? That is 2, 4, 6, 8. Those are the even numbers. And 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. These are the odd numbers. So any number having even number of zeros can only be a square number. The number having odd number of zeros can never be a perfect square number. For example, if we take 10, it is having 1 0, and 1000, it is having 3 zeros. So these are having odd number of zeros. So these numbers cannot be a square number. 10 and 1000 are not the square numbers. While if you see 100 and 10,000, these are having even number of zeros, that is 2 and 4. And these both numbers are the square of other number. For example, 10 square is 100 and 100 square is 10,000. So having even number of zeros will only be a square number. Our next property, that is property number 5. The square of odd numbers will be odd and the squares of even number will be even. For example, if you see over here 13 is an odd number. If you get square of it, we will get 169. So even 169 is odd number. Next is 19 is our odd number and its square is 361. So even that is an odd number. Now if you take an example of even number, if we take 14 is an even number and square of 14 is 196. Our next example is 20 is an even number and square of 20 is 400. So even 400 is a even number. So the square of odd number will always be an odd and the square of even numbers will always be an even number. Our next property is property number 6, that is difference between the squares of two consecutive natural numbers is equal to the sum of that two numbers. Now for example, if we take, now I suppose you know consecutive numbers, right? The number which comes just next to that number is called consecutive number. Right, so 20, if we take 20 square is 400 and the consecutive number of 20 is 21. So 21 square is 441. Now if we subtract this both squares, that is 441 minus 400, we get 41. And now if we add these two numbers, that is 20 and 21, even our answer is same, that is 41. So we can say this property as difference between the squares of two consecutive natural number is equal to the sum of two numbers. Our next property is property number 7, that is there are two n non-perfect square numbers between the squares of two numbers, that is n and n plus 1. This means that if we take two consecutive numbers and the square of those numbers, for example, our number is 9 and 10, then how many numbers lie between the squares of these two numbers? The square of 9 is 81 and the square of 10 is 100. So numbers lying between 100 and 81, if we take and count it, we will get 18 numbers. Right, 18 natural numbers lie between 100 and 81. Now if we multiply our n, that is 9 by 2, so 9 multiplied by 2 is 18. That is the same answer which we got by subtraction of 181, right? So two n number of non-perfect natural numbers lie between the squares of two consecutive natural numbers, right? Our next property is number 8, that is the sum of first and odd natural numbers is n square. You know odd numbers, na? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. These are our odd numbers. Now, if you add these odd numbers, then how many odd numbers you add? If you do square of that, then the sum of these odd numbers will be same. For example, I have taken 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. So these are 4 odd numbers, 1, 3, 5 and 7. 4 odd numbers, the square of 4 is 16. And if we add these numbers, that is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, our answer is also 16. Our next property is the square of an odd number can be expressed as the sum of two consecutive natural numbers. Now we can take any odd number. For example, I have taken 3. Then the square of 3 is equal to 9. And any two consecutive numbers are such that if we add them, we will get our answer 9. So those numbers are, suppose we take 4 plus 5. Is it 9? And 4 and 5 are two consecutive numbers. So how we get the relation between these two? The relation is, if we take our number as n, then n square will always be equal to n square minus 1 upon 2 plus n square plus 1 upon 2. If we solve this, here I have taken n equal to 3. So 3 square is equal to 9. Then 9 minus 1 by 2 will be 8 by 2 means 4. And 9 plus 1 by 2, that is 10 by 2 is 5. So 4 plus 5 is 9. So we get the relation as n square is equal to n square minus 1 by 2 and n square plus 1 by 2. Students, you have to remember this formula. This will be needed for solving your exercise which I am going to provide you along with this video of the chapter. Now our next property is the difference between the squares of two consecutive natural numbers is equal to the sum of two numbers. For example, I take 9 square and other consecutive number as 8 square. So 9 square minus 8 square, that is 81 minus 64. We get our answer as 17. And if we add these two consecutive numbers, that is 9 plus 8 is also 17. And our last but not the least property is, if we take n plus 1 and n minus 1 as two odd or even numbers, then the formula is n plus 1 multiplied by n minus 1 is equal to n square minus 1. For example, first of all, I have taken two even numbers, 10 and 12. So here n will be 11. 10 is 11 minus 1 and 12 is 11 plus 1. If we take this, then it will be 11 square minus 1. Now what is the square of 11? It is 121. So 121 minus 1 is 120. And even if you directly multiply 12 by 10, our answer will be same as 120. For odd number example, I have taken 11 and 13. So here our n will be 12. 11 is 12 minus 1 and 13 is 12 plus 1. So that will be equal to 12 square minus 1. And now the square of 12 is 144. So 144 minus 1 is 143. And if you multiply 11 by 13 directly, your answer will also be 143. So students, these were the properties you were supposed to know and learn about the square number, that is a perfect square number. Along with this explanation, I have provided you one exercise, that is textual exercise 6.1. It is based on all these properties only. Go through the properties well and you will be able to solve the exercise easily. And the rest part of our chapter we will continue in our next video. Thank you.